What's up? What's up? What's up? Good morning. Good morning. Buenos dias. Hello. How you doing? Just want to say this is the day that the Lord hath made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. It's your boy, Mr. Slow and Steady, aka Tony Garcia, aka his son. And we got that beautiful ray of light beaming, shining on us. Before I get started though, I just want to say thank you to all of the subscribers, all the viewers, all those that have taken the time to view these messages that the Spirit of God is leading me to not only speak, but to study and to be able to give to you guys. Not at any point do I want to take any glory for myself. This platform isn't for Mr. Slow and Steady. This platform isn't for Tony Garcia. This platform, as a son of God that I am, is to glorify his name. So the comments, the likes, everything, whether you do comment or you don't, it's all to the glory of God. And I pray that your lives are not only transformed, but they're healed, and that you can have a testimony and share it with someone to give them the glory of God in their life as well as a messenger. But moving forward, guys, the word that I have today is from Proverbs 16:24, and it said, sweet word is like honey, good to the soul and nourishing for your health. A kind word is like honey, sweet to the soul and good for your health. And that's Proverbs 16:24. Excuse me if I got that mixed up a little bit. Like I said, I'm not perfect. But again, I challenge you to look the Proverbs up, or look the book up that I'm talking about, just so you can see and get more clarity on it for yourself. But I say that to say, a kind word is like honey because it's not only sweet to your soul, but good for your health. When you speak words of kindness, not only to others, but before you speak anything to others, you have to be careful and be intentional about what you speak over yourself. So when you wake up in the morning, before you get your day started, you should be declaring positive affirmations over yourself. You should be declaring that you are the head and not the tail. You should be declaring that you are more than a conqueror. You should be declaring that you are highly favored and highly blessed. You should be declaring that all that God has for you will find you, and you will attract it through seeking Him and seeking to do His will. These are not things that happen by happenstance. These are things that are built up by spiritual principle disciplines that you take, and building up your self-image, self-esteem, self-worth, and most of all, your self-dignity that you have comes from not resting just in yourself, but resting in God. And as you rest in God, you'll come to find out more who you are. And as you find out who you are, that light is going to shine just like the sun is doing. It's just going to be so powerful that no matter what, where you are, whether you're in a dark place, whether you're in a cave, whether you're in a light place, your light is going to be so evident amongst men and women that whether they want to acknowledge it or not, it's going to be seen. But I say that to say again, speak kindly to yourself first. Self-love is most important. Take time to reassess that trauma you went through. Take time to reassess that pain from a child. Take time to reassess maybe something that may have happened yesterday or 2 days ago that you haven't properly processed, so that you don't hold on to it, because holding on to things, offenses will come, and holding on to them is basically blocking your conversation vertically with Christ. And prayer is the most important thing that we have to do. We have to pray. That's our communication with God. Even if our prayers aren't coming out vocally, they can come out through us just being quiet and us thinking them in our head. God knows the intentions of our heart. God knows when we're completely defeated and we're completely crushed and we may not have the sentiments to give to Him. So He'll take what we have, and we have to give Him that. But that self-love comes from speaking words of positivity, of being kind to yourself. And once we can get down doing that to ourselves, we can do that to others, because we're supposed to love the Lord our God with all our heart, all our mind, all our soul, and all our strength. And then we have to love our neighbor as ourselves. But I always have to remember, I can't love my neighbor as myself if I don't love myself. And I have to be intentional about loving myself. And that means being selfishly intentional in times. And that doesn't mean demeaning somebody, hurting somebody's feeling, but that means doing what you need to do unapologetically for you to be well, for you to show up as the best version of yourself, so that when your cup is running over, it's running over and the extras can go to everyone else. You're not just pouring from a place of, man, you know what, I gotta keep pouring and I don't have anyone to pour back into me. Like David, David in the Bible was one of the greatest figures, a man after God's own heart. David had to encourage himself at times, a lot of the time, when there was no one there with him and things just looked like they were going wrong. David had to encourage himself. David had to preach to himself. He had to tell himself and call and cry out to God. And that's why I love David, because David was real. If you look at some of those Psalms that were written, not to get off track, a lot of the Psalms start off one way and end another way, but David always kept it real, and he kept it real with God, and that's why God always allowed David to come back. Now, he didn't let David escape his chastisement, but he knew David had a repentant heart to turn back to him. So I end this video with this: be kind to yourself, speak words of affirmation that are positive, because they're good, they're sweet for you, and they're good for your health. But most importantly, as you do that to yourself and you understand what it means to be kind to yourself and self-love yourself and take that self-care, you can give to others without feeling like you're giving others from a deficit. I think I spoke too much. I pray that you guys have a good day. The week is almost over. Stay in there, fight the good fight of faith, and keep pressing on toward the mark. But remember, God sees you, God hears you, and God loves you, and so do I. Peace. Have a great day, guys.